Just a quick disclaimer / public health warning before I start this video. This week it's fanfiction week on Magical Threesome. You have been warned. Magical Threesome. Dobby sauntered down the dimly lit hallway, whistling a happy tune to himself. The households on the midnight shift had just taken over, and he was looking forward to a good sleep. He heard a soft sobbing noise emanate from the darkness. He walked forward, purposefully now. Behind the statue was a figure swathed in glittering shawls that looked like the shining stars in the moonlight, filtering through a nearby window. A mass of frizzy ginger hair cascaded down the back. The person was heaving with silent sobs. Dobby suddenly caught the scent of cooking sherry. Alarm bells went off in his head. He knew how Winky had ended up, drowning her sorrows in liquor, and did not wish for this individual to continue down that same path.
"Please, miss,"
he insisted.
"I will help you back to your bedroom."
The person finally turned towards him. Dobby's breath stopped in his throat. Soft, smooth skin, small perfect lips, lines of worry that Dobby wanted to massage away with his fingers, and the most beautiful eyes he had ever seen in his life. They were the colour of goblin-wrought silver, molten and enchanting at the same time. She was wearing spectacles, which made them appear 1,000 times larger. Dobby stared into them for several seconds without moving, hypnotised by her melancholy gaze.
"It's too late," said a hoarse voice. "The Dark Lord is coming back very soon, but no one believes me, and there's nothing we can do."
She hiccuped and took one long swig from a glass bottle she held in her right hand. Dobby's heart felt overwhelmed with compassion. He knew exactly what it was like to have a conviction, single-mindedly, only to be ridiculed or berated. How could he forget the year he tried so hard to protect the precious life of Harry Potter, only to have his angry words cutting into his soul? No one had ever understood what it was like. Perhaps this lady might.
"Dobby believes you, miss. What's your name?"
he asked.
"Sybil,"
she whispered. Her eyes suddenly widened and focused on him for the first time. He had huge green eyes, incandescent and beautiful, almost glowing in the darkness surrounding them. They were fixed in an expression of utter concern. Her eyes dropped down to his body. He was wearing a small, fitted coat with trousers.
You're a freed elf,"
she croaked. Dobby puffed up his chest and stood up straight. She admired his regal, bony physique.
"Yes,"
he said proudly.
"Dobby is a free elf."
Her eyes shone brightly with unshed tears as she smiled at him, admiring his great and untamed heart. Then, on impulse, without any thought, she reached her hand behind his head and brought him closer to rest their lips together. Dobby immediately stiffened, not knowing what to do. But as she slowly devoured his lips, a warmth began to build up inside him, and he began to reciprocate. With a moan, he thrust his tongue in her mouth and felt their breath mingle, their souls touching. Dobby marvelled at the smooth, pale skin, tracing his name upon the flesh with a long finger, marking her, possessing her.
"Dobby,"
she moaned. He was going much too slowly for her hunger to bear. She tore off his coat, and before he could chastise her for the destruction of his favourite piece of clothing, she dragged him down and breathily kissed him once more. Her hands roamed over his wrinkly, grey-pink chest, lingering over the... Sybil traced a finger over his sated face, smiling.
"I love you, Dobby."
He smiled back at her, untold depths of longing within his eyes.
"I now know what it truly means to be free."
Well, that was traumatic for everyone involved. Thanks for listening, and Ron, I'll see you on Wednesday, I guess. Oh God.